Hello beautiful booktubers, I'm Becky Bookworm and I'm here to do part 1 of my wrap up for August. So far I have read 2 books and 1 graphic novel. The first book was actually an audiobook and it was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I know when I did my last wrap up I mentioned that I wasn't going to listen to any more fiction on audiobook because I found it really hard to keep a thread of the storylines as I was going through. However, I really like Neil Gaiman's voice, so figured I would treat myself and give that a listen. And I did have the same problem that I had with the others, which was my mind would wander and I'd miss things out and that sort of thing, but I did manage to keep abreast of what was going on. So, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, it's a weird one. So it's kind of, the main bit of the story is kind of a flashback from a guy who used to live in this area. He's gone back for a funeral and he starts thinking about this girl that he met when he was a little boy. So the mum and dad are down on the luck, so they start renting out their spare room. A guy comes to stay with them and actually, I don't know how spoilery this is, so if you don't want to know more, maybe skip forward, but the guy that comes actually kills himself in their car down the lane, and after that things start getting weird. A woman turns up to the house and while the mum's at work she starts getting cosy with the dad, but the little boy knows that she's dodgy and she knows that he knows, so there starts this whole thing and it turns out that she's not actually human, and he enlists the help of this little girl who is also supernatural that lives in a farm at the end of the lane, and it just goes from there. And I know I say this every time, but I really enjoyed it. Neil Gaiman is a fantastic writer, his voice is amazing, the pacing of the story was really good, and I liked it so much I want to go back and read the book. I don't think, I have quite a few, sorry I'm just looking at my shelves, I have quite a few Neil Gaiman on my shelves but I haven't read that one yet, but I haven't got that one yet either. But like I said, I really loved it and I enjoyed the narration, so I just keep looking at my phone. So I give that 5 out of 5. I feel like I'm really soft with my rankings. I feel like I give a lot of 4 and 5 stars. I might have to start toughening up a little bit. But the next one I read after that was Rain, Volume 1, Wardens of Fate. This is by Kel Simmons. It's kind of a sort of medieval type thing, and it's a guy who is a monster hunter and he's the last of the I'm just reading it from this because it's easier. The last of the legendary last of the legendary Wardens whose ranks long ago faded from the land of fate into myth. Not exactly a white knight, Rain's haunted by visions from his guiding angel Aurora, who sets him on a great quest against the mysterious Ven, teaming him with Seth, a woman with witch-like powers, and together they discover fate holds an incredible secret. I enjoyed this one as well. I did quite well. It wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good. I'll probably get volume 2 to find out what's happening. I was going to show you some of the graphics, but I'll just put a few screenshots here to show you. I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. And the final one was Cabal by Clive Barker. I've mentioned this a few times and I love the film Nightbreed. I'm into Hellraiser, you know, Clive Barker stuff is really good. I've read a few of his books like The Great and Secret Show, which is really good but a very long book. And I've wanted to read Cabal for ages. I found it in a second-hand shop really cheap, so I got it and I wasn't disappointed. It's basically the same as the film. There's a few different things, probably because they didn't have the special effects to do it back then, but more or less it's the same as the film. It's basically about a guy who's been struggling for years with his mental health and he's been seeing a psychotherapist, and the psychotherapist is a bit dodgy. He finds out about this place called Midian when he's in the hospital. This guy wants to reveal his true self, so he does that. I won't tell you how because it spoils the shock, I guess. And so he finds out this place Midian, loads of shit goes down, everything goes wrong, and he ends up going down there and finding out that he is part of the Nightbreed, which is the creatures that live at Midian. So it's about the people at Midian are hunted, they're trying to hide from people in general, and loads of shit goes down. There's a mass murderer who's trying to frame Boone, who's the main character, trying to frame him for stuff, so it's enjoyable and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. So that's it from me. I will probably do another 2 or 3 wrap-ups throughout the month. I just find it easier to do them in small chunks and then you don't have to pay attention for a million years. But if you've read any of these books, please let me know in the comments down below, or if you've got any recommendations based on those, let me know and I will look them up, because yeah, I don't have enough on my TBR. Never enough. But yeah, that is it from me. I'll be back soon with another video. Please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Big hugs. Bye!